is up, you heathens and demons, you blasphemous, beautiful people. Welcome back to The Raging Atheist. I'm your boy Nakasuchi, and today I really want to talk about the last conversation slash debate slash ambush that I had with Matt Powell. Real first, I want to get out of the way that I am very sick today. I actually called in to work. I was planning on making this video after I got out of work today, but I'm sick, so you know, no rest for the weary. Even when I'm sick, I'm gonna continue to make this video and hopefully a couple more to get me through the rest of this month as I move. I really hope that in this video I can convey to you and to Matt Powell exactly what went down from my perspective with this last interview that we had. So I'm really, not really planning on doing anything else with Matt Powell until after I move. I was public with that. I really didn't like how long it took me to get the whole conversation out, so I'm planning on hopefully getting most of our debate out all in one shot later in the future. I don't want this channel to become a Matt Powell channel. I want to get back to my normal routine, so today I'm going to try to film a Girl Defined video as well. And then once I get moved, I'm going to have a Colt Bunny week, and we're going to really get back into my normal routine. But, I get a text from Matt saying that he's making a movie, that this movie is going to be huge, it's going to have a worldwide release, and that he wants to have a debate with me for this movie, and it's going to be great for my channel. And, I don't really believe nothing that Matt Powell says. I know a lot of people were worried that I would fall under his sway or something just because I was nice to him in our last conversation. But really, I was hungover that day. I wasn't my normal self. And I was kind of waiting for this moment that I ended up doing last Saturday. And that was really setting him up to make him comfortable with me, and then nailing him on the subject. Nailing him on the topics, nailing him on his hatred. So that was my intention, so I accepted. And not from any oh, this is going to be great for my channel, because I really don't think that his documentary is going to have this worldwide release and get watched by the entire world like he claims. But I did it so I can pretty much show how ingenuous he is. I know he's going to try to twist whatever happened in that interview, because his whole point is to prove evolution wrong. He told me that. So he's going to twist what I say to make it look like he gets me, and that was his point. And I was able to see that. You're going to be able to see that in the future. And he doesn't. I crushed the kid. I fucking made him look bad. But the whole time was just shady, and that's what we're going to get into. So, our first meeting was scheduled not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. And I spent all week preparing, because I really want to nail him on evolution. I want to nail him on his fake ass talking points, and I'm ready for that. I should have seen that he was going to try to do an ambush type interview with me for his movie. I should have foreseen that. I didn't really, so I didn't prepare for an ambush. But you guys are going to see that I react very well for it. And not only do I react well to it, I go on to annihilate the kid, make him frustrated, make him pissed off. He didn't get what he wanted, so he's really going to have to warp everything I said. And then when he does that, I'll release my footage, proving him wrong, proving him what a shady fucking fucktard he is. But we're going to get into that. That first scheduled meeting, we get all the way to Friday night, and I go to bed early that night. I wasn't going to be hungover again. I wasn't going to be sick. I was going to be fresh and ready for this conversation with Matt. Well, at midnight, while I'm sleeping, he texts and cancels. Can't get his film crew there. And his film crew is mainly his brothers and a couple sycophants that he has, that he bosses around like he's slave master and they're the slave. I witnessed this myself. So we get to this past Saturday, this past conversation we had. He texts me and says we're going to have it at the Library of Michigan in Lansing. Even though I recommended, let's do it out in a public park. somewhere where we're not going to be disturbing a bunch of people while we have our conversation. And he's like, no, we're going to do it at the Library of Michigan. So I'm assuming, like, you know, he's worked it out with the Library of Michigan in Lansing. You know, Lansing's an hour drive from me. And this is where he wants to meet, so I'm assuming he worked it out. Well, I get there, and he ain't worked out shit. They didn't know we were coming. In fact, he has his entire film crew staged throughout the library like some fucking CIA operation. I mean, it was fucking weird, man. Weird. And you'll see in his movie, if he does all the footage he took of us walking into the library, chit-chatting, you know, you'll see this. I mean, he's not gonna make himself look bad, but this is what happened. So he's going through all these rooms, and I'm just following. He's looking for a place to film in a fucking library, right? You can't even, you know, you're not supposed to talk above a whisper in a fucking library. And I'm telling him this, like, dude, we should probably do this outside, you know, this. So we get up to the 4th floor, and as soon as we get up there, you know, his crew, who was not slick, got caught, and he got called to the desk, and they kicked us out. And on our way out, he stops in the museum part of this library. It's a huge library, capital of Michigan, you know, and it's a huge library. And he stops on the way out the museum part, and he starts talking to them. So he gets his sycophants to take me outside and do our initial interview. And I didn't try to record that initial interview on my camera. And it was just 10 questions that I didn't really even have to prepare for. They were easy questions. I'm like, these are your 10 questions, dude? But he was trying to set me up for an ambush, and you're going to see that. So while we're doing that, and he's inside talking and shit, and working out some kind of deal, and he does talk his way into getting us to be able to film there, you know, I do this interview with Matt. It's 10 questions. And then, you know, he starts setting up inside and says, oh, go take a smoke break, which is fine. I need a smoke. So I go take my smoke break. You know, I check to make sure everything's working right, my cameras. You know, make sure I have all my notes right. And then I get inside, and I start setting up my camera. And as soon as I start setting up my camera, you know, these pompous, arrogant little rich boys are going to start talking about how I need to upgrade, right? You know, and I mean, you guys weren't there, but I mean, it's just pompous, you know, talking about my shitty little camera. And I'm going to show you guys my camera, but, you know, I am a working man. I am a single father. I raised my daughter alone. Matt is 22 years old without a kid. Most, you know, the main part of his crew are his younger, pompous-ass brothers. And you're going to try to degrade me and make me feel shamed by what equipment I can afford. And my equipment works fine for what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to start upgrading in March. But that's, you know, I would never denigrate somebody for having less than me. But of course, these are, you know, self-enriched, preppy-ass white boys that think that they own the world and that everybody needs to succumb to what they think or what Matt thinks because they succumb to what Matt thinks. You know, I use what I can use. And I've never had a problem with my camera before. Never once did I have a problem with my camera. We get it set up after another long break that he didn't want me there. You know, after that first smoke, I come back and he's like, dude, we're still setting up. Go to the cafe so I can communicate with my team. Now I believe at this point, they're pretty much coming up with a game plan to try to sabotage the footage that I'm getting. Because if I'm getting footage, then I can prove them wrong when they twist what I say. And I came into it expecting something. I didn't think that they would actually fuck with my shit. But I expected something. You know, I knew that they were going to twist me. And of course, you know, I'm going to be recording, so you do that at your own risk. Well, they're trying to take away some of that risk. So I set up my camera once I get back in, and we finally get going. Never had a problem with my camera before, and all of a sudden, you know, and I set it up, and it's a little stand, and they're all talking shit and smirking, you know, at my shit. And it's a little stand, and I get it there, and the pin had come out when we had been up on the 4th floor, and I got my shit out before he got called to the desk, and I didn't realize it. So, you know, my stand was all flippity-floppity. It wasn't barely working. They're snickering. But I get it good. and I get it to where it's somewhat level, and we're recording. And, you know, as I'm talking to man, I notice that they're moving my camera around and shit. And then all of a sudden, my camera malfunctions. And I try to fix it. I've never seen it happen before. And I'm going to show you guys what it was doing. Or, you know, talk about what it was doing when I show you my camera. I've never had a problem with my camera before. And guess what? I haven't had this problem since my conversation with Matt. So I have to conclude that they were doing something to my camera as I was talking to Matt, when my attention was diverted. And I don't know what the hell they did, but it pisses me the fuck off. Because that's, you might see it as less than yours, but it's still mine. I still have to work my ass off for every little thing I get, because most of my money has to go towards my daughter and taking care of her. It has to go towards bills, living, scraping by. See, I don't have the benefit of a daddy or a flock of fucking sheep that's gonna contribute to your cause. I can only do what I work for. So I eventually, you know, can't really figure out how to fix my camera right there. So I start recording on my phone, and Matt's like, well, let one of them hold your phone. And I was, you know, I automatically assumed that they did something to my camera. I didn't want to let them hold my phone, but in my mind I'm working, well, how can you really explain fucking up my phone in this day and age? You know, you can cover with an excuse, well, it was a simple camera. We're used to much more sophisticated technology. So, you know, we didn't really know how to work his camera, even though it's just a basic record button like I'm going to show you guys, and I told him every fucking time that I was already fucking recording. So I let him hold my phone for that first segment of the debate. And they do a good job, because they can't fucking, you know, anybody can operate a phone now. Even though it is a little wavery. And you'll see that when I finally release it. So after that first segment, and I kick his ass, and then he gets frustrated and pissed off, you know, and I go out to smoke cigarettes so he can gather his crew and talk about how they can try to trap me with this next segment. I fix my camera, and all I do is take the battery out and put it back in, and my camera's fine. And I get back in and I set up, and wouldn't you know, another camera malfunction. Happened again, same shit. So I have to use my phone again. We get through that segment, and I kick his ass again. And I go out, and, you know, and I don't think I smoked a cigarette. That time I think I just fixed it right there, took the battery out, put it back in. Shit was fine, again. So Matt's like offers to, why don't you let somebody hold it, you know, because at this point the stand really isn't wanting to cooperate with me. And so I let the guy hold it, and it malfunctions again. Malfunctions again. Whatever the fuck they did to it, I mean, they think I'm stupid. You know, if it continued to malfunction after the interview, Matt, maybe I'd give it to you. Maybe, you know, I've had the camera for like 1.5 years now, maybe 2 years. So maybe it's fucking up, but it's never fucked up before. But guess what? It's not fucking up since. You guys were doing something to my shit, and that pisses me off. Alright guys, this is the camera that I shoot all my videos on. It's about 1.5 years old. It's a Sony. It's not a bad camera. It's not, you know, thousands of dollars. I think it cost me a couple $100. But this is what I've shot my videos on. I've never had malfunctions, never. So as you can see, everything's closed down. Let's make it closer so maybe you guys can see right here. When it's on, this button, this light becomes green. And there's my simple little record button. You press that button. You know, let's open her up. Alright, so now I got her open. Right? And then you just hit that little record button, and she starts recording. And when I start recording, as I hit that button, it'll say record. Can't miss that, right? So I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were... So right here's where the memory card is. And they were messing with my shit the whole time. They were moving it around and not, you know, fucking with my shit. They should have never had their hands on my shit. But my memory card's in there. I don't know if they were like opening this up and taking the memory card out while it was recording. They were closing it while it was recording. I don't know what they did, but they did something. Because when it malfunctioned, it would stop recording. But this green light would still be on. Even though everything's shut down. Like right now, you know, it's not recording. Everything's shut down. There's no light on. But that green light would be on. And then when I opened it up, it was like, you know, the memory card icon is flashing. In order to fix it, I just popped this open and took the battery out and put the battery back in, and it would be fine. But then it would malfunction again. You know, I know this ain't the best camera, Matt. But one thing this camera's always been for me is reliable. And if it's only going to malfunction when I'm with Matt Powell and crew, and no other time in the history of its personal existence, well, logic dictates that Matt Powell and crew did some shady fucking shit. So Matt, for a good, you know, and you'll see it when I release this part, because I'm going to be releasing this part soon. This is where I confront him on his homophobia. And he thinks he's not being recorded by me, and he can say whatever the fuck he wants. And you'll see a surprise when he does figure out, and I reveal to him that I'm still recording it on my phone. You know, he thought he got over on this one, because he knew it was coming. I think this was the grand scheme the whole time, was get rid of this footage on this last segment. But he couldn't. I was smarter than he was. See, Matt, if you want, you know, he bitched about how people wouldn't debate him, like Bill Nye and Dawkins, and like, Matt, if you really want to get into that world, you've got to be fucking legitimate, yo. You got to be legitimate. You got to be an actor that acts in good faith. You can't lie and cheat to win your arguments. You just can't do that. Anybody can see through your charade. I saw through it, and I fucked you up in this debate we had. And I found you and your crew to be arrogant and pompous, snide and condescending. I found Matt to be a narcissist that runs this crew like a slave master. And I'm smiling the whole time. I'm being nice, Offset, the whole time. Because I'm a human being that knows how to get through the circumstance to get what I want. And that is good quality footage exposing a hateful motherfucker face to face without having to respond on the internet. I'm going to expose you, Matt. And I think you're a little scared now. But the most outrageous thing that Matt did was he used my daughter to try to convert me to his cult, to try to shame me, saying that I'm not just responsible for my soul going to hell, but I'm going to be responsible for sending my daughter to hell. He said this to me. Now, Matt, I know you're not a father, and you can't possibly understand how fucking insulting that is, and you're lucky I didn't bitch smack you right on the spot. I'm better than that. In my younger days, I would have. You don't talk about somebody's fucking children. You don't know my kid. You have no right putting her anywhere near your fucking hateful lips. It was insulting. It was obnoxious. And it was wrong. You can fear this fantasy of hell, but I don't raise my daughter to fear. I raise her to love and to understand. As always, I am your boy Nakasuchi. This is The Raging Atheist. If you like my videos, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share me on your social media. Comment in the comments section below. I'll see you soon.